Bring it to life, the 1985 Corvette with a 454 cubic inch Chevrolet engine and a 3-speed automatic. This is not what you'd call a monster truck. It must be in a category all by itself. The lid comes down. Getting them lined up for the other semifinal round. Waiting in the other lane, Rolling Thunder with Jim Oldacre. Been on the circuit for not quite a year. In fact, he's the youngest or the least experienced driver on this circuit. Former motorcycle racer. Spent a lot of time in the desert and on motocross circuits. All right, we're about ready with the other half of the semifinals now. And in the lane furthest away from you, it's a brand new 1985 Corvette with a 454 cubic inch motor. At the wheel, 25 years of age, Cliff Starbird from Mulvane, Kansas. In the lane nearest to you, the only monster van called Rolling Thunder. The owner and driver, Jim Oldacre, out of Redondo Beach, California, former motorcycle racer with a 1972 Dodge Tradesman van, probably the only monster van on the racing circuit. This one powered by a 1976-71 Detroit diesel motor. So both of them making lots of horsepower. It's about ready to happen. Watch it closely. Nearest lane, Oldacre gets it up quicker, but the van is the biggest and heaviest vehicle on this circuit. Look at him mash those cars as he boogies down the lane. He's way ahead of the Vet. The Vet was supposed to be tough, but it looks as though it's going to be the van. The heaviest one gets the rear wheels down first and is the winner. It's Jim Oldacre who comes back in the final, and the Vet owned by Cliff Starbird does not make it to the final.
That was a calm, cool, and collected effort, Jasper, as he gets ready to put the power to USA 1. This is one of the most colorful matchups as you're looking at two of the most famous monster vehicles in the world. They're underway, and Jasper literally bolts into the lead, leaving Starbird at the gate. Jasper jumps on the brakes with the 40,000-pound weighted sled in tow. They'll unhook him now, and he'll have a hot lead over the monster Vet.
He's making the move out, so he's going to come in with a good 2 car lengths ahead of the monster Vet.
It's a comfortable lead, all right, as USA 1 begins to line up for his charge over this mini Mount St. Helens here.
Monster Vet is now making the run it is.
Monster Vet trying to play catch-up here, but he's in trouble.
That's right. I don't know if he can make it. Monster Vet's catching up. He's catching up, and he's taking him.
He certainly is. Cliff Starbird, the monster Vet, has now gone into the lead. USA 1 is now going to have to play catch-up.
USA 1 had a little trouble over those cars. He's going into the mud pit late, and monster Vet is out first.
This is always a highlight in any monster truck show is this incredible flip-top monster Vet. It's an exciting vehicle, and you'll want to keep your eye on it this afternoon in the competition. It's driven by Cliff Starbird from Mulvane, Kansas. Well, there you have it. 8 of the most unique monster trucks you'll see anywhere. And they're ready to compete on a very unusual closed course inside the Louisiana Superdome. And right now, let's go inside to our colleague, Steve Evans. Look at this. Here is Cliff Starbird and the monster Vet. This is one of the real showpieces of the 80s. From Mulvane, Kansas, 28-year-old Cliff Starbird has brought his classic monster Vet here. Now, the only real downside to the monster Vet is the fact that the wheelbase is a little on the short side, making the vehicle harder to manage as it crushes cars. But I think he's got a solution. Cliff Starbird.
Well, the biggest problem with the lightweight and the shorter wheelbase is it gives a lot more hopping action and a lot more bouncing. So if I can keep it on the cars, which I think I'll do this time, you're going to see a lot better show than last time. The hardest part is just keeping on the cars. I got plenty of horsepower, just a matter of keeping it on the cars.
Cliff, you kept your cool when it all looked lost.
Yeah, that sled's just a little heavy. I'm so light, and I'm just not set to pull sled. That's my biggest handicap. I know if I get past that, I'd give him a good show.
Now, here's a monster Vet. Look at that beauty. And it's no powder puff. Smashes over those cars. Windshield smashing out. Watch the tires sprinkle as it hits the ground. Here it is again. Up and over. What a beautiful machine. Fortunately, not all these machines stay as beautiful as they start. And even though this car has a very light body, it's obviously got some power and weight to it to mangle those cars beneath it like it does. You can really see the movement in slow motion as those windshields just explode out of the car frame. Now, here's a Ford Mustang that's trying to keep up with that Corvette. He's giving it all he's got in this first go and launches that Mustang into the air and flips it, rolls it completely over, rocking back and forth. Let's take another look at that. And I'm sure he wishes he had this to do over again. Now, the cars he's going on top of have already been smashed down almost flat by that vet. And so when this Mustang launches itself into the air, watch the front wheels. It doesn't really have anything to land on, and consequently the Mustang flips over. There it is, up in the air, and really nothing to land on with those big, huge front wheels, and smashes what was a very beautiful, very expensive monster truck. Nothing to do now but call in the records. Anyone like to buy a slightly used Mustang?
Monster truck. Here we go with, this is an interesting machine. It's called Monster Vet.
And Cliff Starbird is back driving it, another one of his creations.
It's a beautiful machine. A Corvette funny car monster truck. And there he goes, and he looks like a Corvette getting off the line. Monster Vet slams into the dirt, spins around, beautiful candy-colored paint job on it.
And you'll be able to see when he hits the cars how the body of this car just bounces all over the framework, but it's specially designed to take the impact that way.
Beautifully built machine. Hits the dirt, spins around now. He slows for just a moment. He's got to beat 30.45. I think he's got it beat. A good run for Monster Vet. Taking a look back. Comes up. Look at the body. Like you said, the body flexes. The time, beautiful time. Holy Toledo, look at this. 34 back for the final round of the monster truck competition. Monster Vet versus Nightlife. And there is the crowd favorite tonight. Monster Vet. At least a lot of the people in the stands here in Omaha are cheering for this machine.
He had a little bit of trouble with Frankenstein, but he made it to the finals with his Monster Vet.
That's right. Cliff Starbird owns two machines here tonight, Frankenstein and Monster Vet. And there's a look at the engine. It is a flip-top funny car monster vehicle, Monster Vet. And that's a look at the ignition. 454 Chevy with a light show on board. There we go.
Starbird really is into gearing. He's a 4-speed Allison, and he feels that gearing your car right for these close competition tracks is a key factor to make the difference. Not all in the horsepower.
It weighs 6 tons, and he launches those 6 tons off the line and down the straightaway. Slamming left-hand turn. A beautiful run so far, Margot.
Taking that turn without a hitch and gassing it up when he gets in that straight line and into the cars.
Cars have been flattened quite a bit. Now he slams down the last one, comes across the line. The body bouncing around. Monster Vet heading for the checkered flag, and he's got a good run if he can keep it going. And he does across the finish line and up on the dirt. Monster Vet. The crowd likes this too. Look at this. They are responding. I think we might have a new fast time of the night. Looked awfully, awfully fast coming down that straightaway. Let's take a look back in slow motion. Comes up, the body bouncing around, Margot.
Gets completely airborne. Even with the cars flat, he took the cars with a head of steam for a time of 21.34 seconds.
That's the fastest time of the night. And there's the light show. The ignition wires light up for Cliff Starbird's Monster Vet.
Boy, and if he's got an engine problem, you could tell if his light show went dim, he'd know he'd had an ignition
You
problem.
could also know where the short was, too. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Neon light show. He waves to the crowd.
The kids love this car. When the Monster Vet's in town, they forget that trucks are monsters, too.
A hydraulic lift body, the Monster Vet. There's a good look at it. He shuts it down. Now to wait.
A little bit of smoke coming out of there.
Yeah, he's looking at the engine, looking down at that big block Chevy engine. 454. Well, we go now to Nightlife. Now, what they're doing now, Margot, is priming the engine, right?
That's right. They've got to shoot sometimes gasoline into these alcohol motors so they will start easy.
Good night. They pour gas into the carburetor to prime him, and he's got fire in the engine. Dave Wyzorik. The time to beat is 21.34 seconds for Nightlife. He's got to beat Monster Vet's time, the fastest time of the night. 21.34 seconds.
Now, Dave does have the advantage. He knows what he's got to do. Judging from his first round time, he knows how hard he's going to have to push it.
Again, the cars have been flattened. That's going to be an advantage. The cars have been flattened. Nightlife coming up on the line, backs up to the line. 1977 Chevy step side pickup. 454 blown fuel injection. He comes up to the line. Now let's see what he does. Dave Wyzorek, Grand Island, Nebraska. Beautiful, beautiful machine. Sunset red peach eye. It's valued at over $90,000.
And there you can see Doug, the technical director, down by Dave's front wheel there, and he's going to be lining him up to make sure that it's a fair, even start.
What's he doing? Wyzorek is getting out of the car, looks back around at the front end. Do you have any idea what he's looking for?
Just making sure his wheels are lined up, maybe making sure there was no damage from a previous run that he hadn't noticed.
This is nightlife. He's got to be monster. Look at him. Look at him. Cheer on the crowd. Look at him. He says, I can't hear you. And the crowd responds. You wonder if they love Chevy pickups here in Omaha, Nebraska. Be sure that they do.
Doug is giving hand signals, showing him where to stop. When he's completely lined up, Doug's hands come together, and we're ready for the race.
Again, he's got to be 21.34 seconds of Monster Bet. The crowd leaning forward in anticipation. We are set to go. On the line. When that green flag drops, the clock starts. And that's when he's got to start and walking off the line. Lines up the rear steering, and there he goes. Comes off the line fine. Comes around, sets up the cars. He's got to straighten up completely, hit the car, slows down momentarily, comes up and over, and pushes the car out again, and that's a problem. He slows way down.
It was a horse race up to that moment. He had a good start, a great first turn, but when he hit those cars, it just didn't work out for him. Again, coming out of that last turn, slows down, the engine's bucking. I don't think he's done it.
That's going to, I think, cost him the race right there, Margot King. The crowd still likes the run, but unfortunately, they don't judge the clocks. And here, let's look back at it again. And this is where he pushed off the Coney Land. You'll see him push off the end car and push it away.
He just got two sideways in the air for a time of 24.69 seconds.
That's
not good
the
enough.
slowest of the 3 runs for Nightlife tonight. Not a good time at all. So there is Nightlife parking the machine. The winner is Monster Vet, Cliff Starbird, the owner and driver, 21.34 seconds. And there goes the light show again. Monster Vet, the winner.